Hey everybody, we back again.
We back. Hello.
You're a fucking idiot. All right, I'm Spencer, and of course we have our licensed clinical therapist, Naz.
I go by Bobby. Dr. Nas.
Bobby Dr. Naz.
Hmm.
Is the doctor the middle name?
I took my husband's first name.
This is the Different Spectrums podcast where we talk about movies, shows, and the mental health aspects that surround them. We also like to have some laughs, so don't take us too serious.
Or do. It's completely up to you.
There you go. Also, don't forget to run up those likes for us. We'd really appreciate it. Yeah, shoot them. So before we get into it, go check out some of our great collaborators. We have Bubs Naturals, Cure Hydration, Pinfinity, Silver Dollar Candle, Nerds, Two Nerds Candle Company, Cat and Raven Company, and then Twink Toys.
Yeah.
Yes, do check them all out. You can also get up to 20% off if you use the code DSP or DSP20. Also, go check out our link tree / the description down below. Yes, point down. There you go. Down to hell, where we're going. So yeah, go check it out. We'd really appreciate it. And then also go check out our merch. We got some good stuff. Different. Got a lot of different things. Because that's the name of the show.
Yep.
There you go.
Branding.
What a plug. Yep. And great job wearing our merch, jackass.
I got you.
Thank you. 1-2 word answers. Love it. What a great show this is going to be.
Go
So today we are going to take a look at Training Day with the great Denzel Washington.
Yes.
Denzel. We're going to be taking a look at one of the most famous scenes, probably in all cinematic history. Yeah. Oh, you bitches. We're also going to be talking about antisocial personality disorder.
Disorder.
Disorder. That's right. Just like the white man, this is the order.
Disorder 66.
The order. If only Palpatine was black.
Yeah, oh my God.
It's execute order. The order 66. Yes, sir. All right. So all right, so we're going to be taking a look at that. We're going to be running down the symptoms of antisocial personality disorder. And then we'll be talking a little bit more about just being, an asshole, pretty much.
Yeah, lack of a better word. Being an asshole, and also when people piss you off.
Happens all the time.
Yeah.
So, Nas, anything before we get into the show?
I feel like that was pointed at me, you fucker.
Well, watch out now.
If the panties fit.
Got a whole lot to aim at.
You over white supremacist over here. Jesus.
Light power.
Oh my God. I'm anti-fluff. So
you need that lean.
You do. Shout out to Mo.
Let's go.
Yeah, so we're gonna get into this. The whole thing was to have some fun about it. I bring this scene up quite often in therapy by him kind of cussing out folks that don't have his back. The whole hood had his back, but that's because he was manipulating them, using them, and hurting them, and saying hey man, I'll keep you in prison or I can get you out of prison. But how he blows up this scene and how he blows up is pretty well known, especially for a lot of folks that are my age or older, millennials or older. Young cats don't really know about it, so I wanted to do this so then I can use it with more clients and then have some fun. While watching it, me and Spence, we were like, "Hey man, this guy's terrible. Let's talk about antisocial personality disorder and create an educational pod on what this personality disorder is, how it looks in the community, also some books and resources that we already have on our Amazon book list that we recommend folks read." So let's get into it. Let's do some education and let's talk about some stuff. Whoop whoop. I didn't even hear it.
Whoa, whoa.
There it is. Yeah, your microphone cancels it out.
Damn it.
FYI, folks, trigger warning, because there's going to be a lot of swearing in these scenes, and we're going to be having some fun, probably swearing as well. So lots of swearing.
And Denzel gets shot in the ass. So
yeah, so nice ass. It's got a great ass. Let's get to the scene.
Yeah. Hey everyone, I'm here to talk about our new collaborator, Toink Toys. They have a wide selection of, you guessed it, toys and other great collectibles. They have products from Marvel, Star Wars, Harry Potter, and everything pop culture. You could say they put the toy in Toink. So go check them out at toink.com and use our code Different Spectrums Podcast to get 10% off your entire order today.
It's no fun when the rabbit has a gun, is it? My nigga. Hey, first dime who puts one in his head, I'll make you a rich man. Come on now. Who wanna get paid? Who wanna get paid? They're not like you. You know what I learned today? I'm not like you. That's good, Jay. I'm glad to hear that. Good. So what now? Huh? What you gonna do? You gonna shoot me? You gonna bust your cherry killing a cop? There it is, Jake. Hit me. You ain't never killed nobody before, have you? It ain't like stepping on ants, Jake. Takes a man to kill. You man enough to kill, Jake? Hit me right there. Get me, Jake. Get me. Hit me. Hit me. You can't do it. Somebody drop this fool for me.
You got us twisted, homie. You gotta put your own work in around here.
It's like that, Bone?
It's like that.
Player to player, pimp to pimp. I don't believe you shoot me, nigga. Don't do it. Don't do it. I don't believe he got it in you, Jake. Shit. I'm gonna get that gun, and then I'm gonna get that money. And you ain't gonna do a damn thing, because you ain't gonna shoot no cop in the back, are you?
Don't do it.
You know what they give you for that? The gas chamber. You know what the gas chamber smells like? Pine oil. That's where you headed, boy. To pine oil heaven. I'm gonna get that gun, and then I'm gonna get that money. I don't believe you got it in you, Jake. I'm gonna go get it right now. Oh! Shit! Ah, you motherfucker!
The next one will kill you.
Oh, son of a bitch! You shot me in the ass. Okay, wait. Okay. All right, lift. Oh, Jake, I need the money. Give me the money, Jake. Give me the money, please, Jake. Give me that money!
It's not gonna happen.
What you gonna do? You gonna jack me now? You gonna take my own money from me, huh?
I told you that's my evidence. You wanna go to jail, you wanna go home.
I wanna go home, Jake. Come on. Give me the money and let me go home.
Yeah. You wanna go home?
Yeah, let me go home, Jake. Come on, give me the money and let me go home. Give me the money and let me go home. Let me go home, Jake. That's right. Come on, Jay. You don't deserve this. Okay, you motherfucker.
Jake, go ahead and bounce on me. Get up out of here. We got your back.
What?
Just like that.
Oh, no, you didn't. Wait a minute. No, you did. Hey, Jay! Hey! Jay! 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 Come back here! Jay! You disloyal, fool-ass, bitch-made punk. Jay! I need my money! Jake! Oh, you motherfuckers. Okay. All right. I'm putting cases on all you bitches. Huh? You think you can do this shit? Jay! You think you can do this to me? You motherfuckers will be playing basketball in Pelican Bay when I get finished with you. Shoe program, nigga. 23-hour lockdown. I'm the man up in this piece. You'll never see the light of day. Who the fuck you think you fucking with? I'm the police. I run shit here. You just live here. Yeah, that's right. You better walk away. Go on, walk away, because I'm going to burn this motherfucker down. King Kong ain't got shit on me. That's all right. Shit, I don't fuck. I'm winning anyway. I'm winning. I'm winning any motherfucking way. I can't lose. Shit, you can shoot me, but you can't kill me. Yeah. Oh, what a day. What a motherfucking day.
It's me, a Spencer, and I'm here to talk about our longtime collaborator, Cure Hydration. Cure is a premium hydrating electrolyte drink mix made with organic coconut water and pink Himalayan salt with no sugar added. It contains 4 times the electrolytes of leading sports drinks. My go-to flavor is grapefruit, but if you're not into that, you can go and get their variety pack with 8 different flavors to sample. Go to curehydration.com or go to our link tree and use the code DSP20 to get 20% off your entire order today. Hey everyone, we back.
We back, and we're live, just as live as Denzel's career as an officer. It's not good. It's not
long.
It's not looking good.
No, not a well-long career there.
Man, it's not good.
Yeah. So we are here, and we're going to, don't say it, we are here and we're going to talk about Training Day.
Yep.
Training Day, if you don't know, is pretty much a film about this rookie cop and a veteran cop, showing him the ropes in 24 hours. So it's literally in a day all this happens. And then Denzel's character is a dirty cop and in LA. And so Denzel's trying to show Ethan Hawke's character just like the ropes and what he's supposed to do, and just trying to manipulate him to join his it's just his crew of dirty cops, as they take money from this other cop, and and then Denzel owes it to these Russians. It's a whole story. You should go check it out. It's on just Max now. Stupid ass fucking name. Yes, Max. But in this scene, it's one of his most iconic scenes, probably ever. and it's the end of the movie where Denzel is finally on the losing end, and has to not only face Ethan Hawke's character, but has to face this neighborhood that he's, like Nas said, has been manipulating and just, controlling throughout however long, right? And so now they're finally coming back and they're standing up for themselves. So it's a great scene, great movie, and yeah. So something that we really want to talk about is this thing called antisocial personality disorder.
Yeah. What the hell is that?
Yes. What is it? Naz, do you want to give like just a brief overview of what you think it is, and then we'll tie it back into the actual description on the Mayo Clinic Health.com.
We're gonna look at the Mayo Clinic. Because that's the hospital. At the doctors. They always trust the doctors.
But Mayo put on sandwich, damn it.
Yep. It's not like Will Levis from Kentucky who puts mayo in his coffee. That's a different story for a different day.
Just get to the fucking...
Okay. Well, wait a minute now. I'm getting warmed up. Antisocial personality disorder. It is very rare for me to see in the office, but it does happen. Those folks usually don't come to the office on their own free will. It's usually being mandated. There's usually reasons why they're being there, or they're trying to refine some of their issues and play the victim and like figure out how to manipulate the situations even better. Very rare to see them or pure narcissists in the office. We've done a pod previously on narcissism with Vicky, a fellow therapist and friend. What was the movie? Renfield. We did on the movie Renfield not too long ago. So if folks want to check out narcissism, do that. You mush antisocial narcissism together, you got what we got, a perfect concoction made in hell called a sociopath or sociopathic tendencies, psychopaths. All you that like watching the murder podcast and all that shit, right? And we'll go watch the narcissism one, and you get that. And then you're going to watch this one, and you're going to learn something about that, and then what makes those individuals. All right, description. Yes. A lot of folks probably won't experience empathy. They're not going to feel it. It's not like folks on the spectrum that are like, you know what? I don't really feel or emote a lot of things. It's not like that. Legitimately, you do not feel it. You do not have it. Those close connections with others, it's just not a thing. Also, the rules don't apply to you. I can do whatever I want, when I want. Doesn't really matter. I don't really care who I hurt. Another thing is using others to get their own way. So you may manipulate folks, and like Denzel does magnificently in this movie, he is a great sociopath and has antisocial personality disorder. Very greedy, very money hungry, very abusive. And so those are some of the main things. Lack of empathy, using others, and thinking that the rules don't apply to them. I've had a few clients that had some of those traits, and that were hurting others and did not care. Sometimes that comes out of trauma, right? Sometimes it comes out of the family dynamics of what's going on in there. Sometimes it could be like some bipolar disorder stuff that also with some trauma issues and then leads into like this manic individual, but usually antisocial, very rare. But when you see it, scary, watch out. Last thing I'll do, when you mush those two together and you get some more of them sociopathic individuals, what you will notice is those individuals are actually very good at playing the victim. Very good. You wouldn't think that because you would think that they're good at hurting others. They're actually very good at spinning it on its head, 180, and playing the victim. The common denominator is usually they play the victim in some way. They'll be the persecutor, right? The oppressor, the abuser, but somehow they'll be like, they'll gaslight you and you're making it feel like, they're the ones that are hurting. Interesting concept. We're going to get into some more stuff and some books and stuff in a minute. But like Spence, let's kind of hang out and kind of go through this step by step and let's talk about it.
Okay. So I'm going to give even though Naz gave a great overview of it, we're just going to go over the dictionary term, I guess, on mayoclinic.org. Just so you know, it's a very reputable site, especially when it comes to health. So let's get into it. So antisocial personality disorder, sometimes called sociopathy, is a mental health condition in which a person consistently shows no regard for right and wrong. So we got that. right?
Yep.
And then they also ignore the rights and feelings of others. Talk about that too.
Yep.
People with antisocial personality disorder tend to purposely make others angry or upset and manipulate or treat others harshly or with cruel indifference.
So you're
Once
just
again,
abusing the shit out of people, man. And just
yes,
sometimes you just want to do it just to rile them up, just to mess with people.
right. And that's, and then also kind of put in there, it's like, don't take this as just as somebody who likes to also like just gaslight as well. There
Yeah.
are people like, for me, for example, I talk shit, but you know, I'm not also trying to like hurt. I do, you know, you do it in a joking way, and then there's like people who are actually like trying to get a rise and say some like messed up shit.
So the difference between there is one is
yeah,
like fun and joking. There's a relationship. The other one
yeah,
is with malicious intent, with intent to harm,
right,
disturb, deregulate.
mhm,
It's you want to cause pain and you may enjoy causing pain.
mm, yeah. So there you go. So just want to put that difference out there, just in case somebody's like, I know someone who's like this. It's like, calm down. Wait a minute. Don't just jump the gun and be like, you're a sociopathy. Like, all right. Well,
No, they just suck. They're not a sociopath, but they do suck.
there you go. So let's get down to the symptoms
Yeah.
of antisocial personality disorder. All right. So some of the symptoms are ignoring right and wrong.
Yep.
That's one of them. Next is telling lies to take advantage of others. Next is not being sensitive to or respectful of others. Yes.
It could, real quick, sensitive or respectful. We could be respectful of time, respectful of their body, respectful of their economics. It could be respectful of a lot of different things. So it's pretty much pushing the boundaries of others in almost every facet.
Mm. And then next is using charm or wit to manipulate others for personal gain or pleasure.
Bruh, story time.
Ooh.
I remember we was at my old school, right? And you know, a person got sent in and talked to us, this and that, right? And it was kind of mandated. They wanted to work on their stuff. In the meantime, we had knew that this person was abusing and hurting their partner. We knew because you hear it through the grapevine. And so I ended up getting the boy. And that was interesting because they was playing the victim and it was sad and crying and everyone's against me, this and that. I'm like, okay, hey man, I'm trying to help you out and figure out some stuff. Wouldn't admit to any of the crimes that they were committing. And so I remember my boy left the office, this and that. And one of the interns goes, hey man, that was the nicest person I just saw in the hallway. Oh my God, you got nice clients. And we had case conference that day. My boss goes, you just met a perfect sociopath, antisocial person. She said, what are you talking about? That boy's the devil. And she said, what do you mean? She said, a lot of these folks that are antisocial are very good at charismatic, wooing. They're very engaging, very, very charismatic. They could be very good at businesses and owning things. They're just very good at talking, and thus they can use that to manipulate some others or gaslight some people, or to take advantage of like financial situations. You see it with a lot of influential people. I bring it up because the intern was like, oh my God. Because you think someone's just being nice and kind, and you're like, yuck. And don't get this twisted, like Spence was saying earlier. Don't get this twisted like folks that are charismatic just in general, or like trying to pick people up at bars or something like that, right? Or just good talkers like me, or like bubbly. Vastly different. And personality disorders, that's not a thing. There's people that are good at talking. These folks, they're wooing because they're planting the seeds to take advantage at a later time. I'm not trying to scare people. I'm just letting you know this is what some folks are doing. Go ahead, Spence.
All right. Moving on from that is having a sense of superiority and being extremely opinionated.
Bruh. The superiority thing. Big time. I'm the best. I'm the brightest. I'm the richest. I'm the smartest. I'm the prettiest. It can get intense. Also, the belittling others, right? When you talk to folks, they're so stupid, Nas. They're beneath me. I can treat them like they're dogs. This is what people have told me in my office that had these things. They're dogs. Oh, who cares about them? They'll dehumanize others because you can always hurt people. It was what we know with legit racism, legit certain other things. Transphobia is when you dehumanize people, then you may attack their bodies or hurt their bodies, take advantage of them economically. Sociopaths or antisocial folks will do that.
Yeah, which is interesting because it's like, and I think that's why it's so interesting when it's Denzel, even though he's a black male, he's also, you know, a cop. And so there might be some superiority that might be going on. They're like, hey, I'm better than you because, you know, all you are like gangbangers and all that shit, even though he's selling drugs and all that shit in the movie. So
facts. Well said.
Yeah. All right. So next is having problems with the law, including criminal behavior.
Not everyone you're going to see that in trouble with the law because they're good at getting away with it. Could also have a lot of privilege as well because, you know, certain folks, white folks could, you know, white collar crimes, right? And so they can get away with certain these things without having the criminal hashtag.
Right. And that kind of also goes back to like somebody like, who was it, Jeffrey Dahmer, who got away with that shit, even though there was like compelling evidence that he was doing that shit and could have been caught like multiple times.
Yep.
But yeah, it was let go because he had that, he was able to kind of talk his way out of, you know, getting arrested and
wooer.
You know,
he was good at wooing, very charismatic, and he just feels trustworthy. A lot of the privilege plays into that.
Yeah. Next is being hostile, aggressive, violent, or threatening to others. Now, I wonder what this one is. That like when they're at like maybe a breaking point with somebody, maybe if like they're not getting, you know, they're not, the manipulation isn't really working as well. Is that kind of what goes into that?
Yes, sir. So when you have it with narcissists, when they get backed into a corner, they don't get their way, they rage. Same thing with folks that are antisocial, they rage. And this is different than like borderline personality disorder where the emotions ebb and flow and deregulate. It's different than folks on the spectrum deregulating because they're not getting their way. This is because someone knows that they can use intimidation in their words. They knows that you can use violence, whether it be interpersonal violence, physical violence, emotional violence, right, mental. It doesn't matter. The key is dominance. Key is dominance. And so you use this to take advantage of folks. And we see this. I mean, he fits this to a T in this scene. To a T.
Right. Yep. Because he finally is losing, sees that he's losing, so now he's just
raging,
saying fuck it. Like
raging. And then still maintaining the superiority of I'm better than you.
Yeah.
I'm better than
all you bitches.
Wouldn't be shit without me. And Pelican Bay, right? This is talking about this prison. And he's talking about y'all be making shoes in the prison. Right. And he's like, I run this. So he's saying I'm a god. Pretty much like Loki, like the episode that we just shot. We are gods. Yeah. He thinks that he's a god and that he makes all the shots and he can do whatever he wants to whoever he wants.
Oh, Denzel.
Oh, Denzel.
Next is feeling no guilt about harming others. So
interesting thing here, Spence. I don't have to talk much about that, self-explanatory, but I have a lot of students with like harm OCD, thinking that they will harm others or murder others or, you know, kick a baby or some shit. You know, I thought about kicking a couple now.
Jesus Christ.
You know, you see one and you just like bloop. The harm OCD is intense. And there's a lot of therapists or a lot of social media folks that specialize in OCD. And, you know, they're like, Nas, I'm terrified that I'm going to end up hurting someone. And I was like, hey, man, you think anyone that actually hurts folks like thinks or like is worried about hurting folks? That's how we know you're not going to hurt someone. I know it's a little complicated to follow. But anyone with these type of disorders, narcissism, antisocial, anyone that's abusing people and like having a good old time and not giving a shit, the fact that you're caring and freaking out and like anxious, some of my clients have literally contemplated suicide so they don't hurt anyone. That's very extreme, but just think the fact that you're thinking about it means that you're not going to do it. What I see a lot of is clients that say, hey man, I don't want to be like my pops. I don't want to be like this alcoholic that's beating his kids and shit, man. I don't want to do that. I don't want to be like so and so that, you know, abused me this and that way. Man, you ain't about to do that, man. Come on. Man, I got angry at this one kid. We got into a fight. I said, yeah, one kid. Shit, I would have fought that kid, man. Kid's a piece of shit. So I have a lot of students that deal with this. The thing that separates them from antisocial is it's the last thing on earth that they would ever want to be. And they freak out about it. So those of you that think that you fall into this category and then you start getting worried about it, that guarantees you that you are not antisocial or narcissistic. I'm done.
All right. Second to last bullet point here, doing dangerous things with no regard for the safety of self or others.
Risky behavior. Again, that can kind of maybe sound like bipolar. Maybe that can sound like, you know, borderline personality stuff. Maybe that can sound like ADHD, being impulsive. But this is like maniacal, malicious, like, you know, you're putting yourself in legit harm's way and doing some wild shit. Or maybe financially, we see it a lot in the financial district. What's this guy Spence? This FTX, this is the crypto guy, FTX, right?
Maybe.
That Tom Brady and all them were in, that Fred Berkman Freud or whatever. I think it was FTX.
Yes, FTX.
Yeah, that's what the Miami Heat stadium was for a little bit. That's antisocial personality stuff. You're taking advantage of people's money. You're running these Ponzi schemes. Bruh. Story time. Doctorate program. They had us watch this thing about this guy that was this white banker and just manipulating and using everyone's pension funds and embezzling the money and all this. And at the end of it, and he was like helping like police officers like catch a few folks, but then he was doing like talks, and then he was a professor at a university and all this. And then turns out he ended up embezzling a ton more money from a ton more people again. And I emailed the teacher. I'm like, why are we watching this? Why are we promoting this fucking guy? And he's proven that he got caught again after we watched this. I'm like, there's some white privilege, dog. That you can be horrible, and now you're a professor, and now we're watching you talk about these things, and then you committed more heinous crimes and stole more people's money.
Yeah.
Antisocial. You just don't give a shit about anyone. You take people's pensions, bruh. You take people's 401ks, bruh. Shit, I done stole some shit from the store. I grew up around a lot of folks that were stealing for money and food. You stealing people's retirement funds?
Yeah.
Can't fuck with you. All right. I just want to talk about the economic stuff because we see it a lot with these white collar crimes and like, oh, it's fine. Oh, bro, it ain't fine. That shit ain't fine.
I know. But yet, you know, God forbid you sell cigarettes on the street corner, get choked out by police.
Pause. Spence talking real shit. Right. The difference in crime and punishments for these white collar crimes and in the things that poor folks, specifically black and brown bodies, specifically black bodies, he Spence talking about a bunch of them folks, Eric Gardner and all them that are selling cigarettes and then they die. Yeah. Real quick, you know, these officers in Colorado, one of them got charged for killing this young black boy out in Colorado, right? And then the other two got let go. I think my nephew, lawyer, he sent it to me a couple of weeks ago that the one guy got charged. I'm like, yeah, man, they choked this boy out. He was walking back from the convenience store with just some food in his hand, listening to music, having a good time, and he died. And they choked him out, and then when the paramedics got there, they shot him up with ketamine, with drugs, and then his heart stopped. And bro, Spencer, I'm telling you, you can tell that he was on the spectrum just from the way he was talking. It was horrible. Yeah. It was horrible listening to it. I should never listen to it. I guess I bring this up because Spencer brought it up. It's just sad to see what some folks will go through when they're doing nothing, and what sociopaths, people that take advantage of people on purpose, get away with because they're rich.
Yeah.
Bullshit.
Yeah, I know. It's an unfortunate fact that you have to really be careful if you have somebody on the spectrum. Because we've seen it time and time again, especially when it comes to police officers. Just if you're on the spectrum, it's like you can't communicate the same way as somebody else. You can't talk your way out of, you know, a ticket or talk your way out of just walking the streets. And so if you're black and you have autism, that's a deadly combo, unfortunately.
Yeah, the sarcasm in
Yeah.
that, right? So you could be seen as
Yeah.
a deadly combo.
Yeah.
It's terrifying, bro. I remember having Celine walk around in the country out in that house that we're out in Dakota. I'm like, bruh,
Yeah.
you never know, man.
Yeah.
You never know, because there's some crazies out there that will hurt other people. So I know we took a little turn here, but I thought it was good that you brought it up, and I ended up reading the horrible articles about them officers that got let go, and I'm like, damn, man, that was the worst one.
Yeah.
Worst one. Let's transition back.
All right. Last bullet point here is being irresponsible and failing to fulfill work or financial responsibilities.
Yep.
Yes.
Folks will, pivot or, won't do stuff or say that they'll do stuff, and then they'll blame it on others. You see a lot of not taking accountability. You got to have a lot of these. They got to be kind of persistent, right? It's kind of hard to see these in certain folks, but they are there. So the book that my boss had me read was called The Sociopath Next Door. And it's not like all these murderers, Spence. It's a lot of small case studies of all these just average day people at your work and at your office that are doing things to take advantage of folks in almost every way. And it is terrifying. I had a client recently read the book, and they got a trauma history because some stuff. So obviously that's why I gave them the book. I said, read this slowly. You're gonna read some shit, and it might be overwhelming. So read it chapter by chapter, right? Ingest it, then move on. I always do that whenever folks have trauma. And they were like, "Man, that shit was way too close to home." I was like, "Ain't it? Scary." Like, Sociopath Next Door. Interesting read. A lot about antisocial personality disorder and everything that Spence just articulated. If you want to read for funsies, is The Psychopath Inside. It's about this dude, Spence, that does these TED Talks, and he's like this big wig neuroscientist. And he's doing these brain image scans on serial killers. He's doing all the images on serial killers and looking and mapping out their minds and seeing how they're different than everyone else, the gen population. He also happened to be doing some brain scans just on his family members. Well, in the pile with his family, he's like, oh man, one of the, psychopath ones, one of the serial killer ones got mixed in. So, and he couldn't figure out which one it was. And he looked it up, the serial number, and he's like, holy shit, it's mine. So he found out that he was actually had psychopathic or sociopathic brain neurology. So throughout the whole book, he explains a lot of different things, a lot of science. And then he's like, well, I'm not a sociopath because, I've never been caught. He doesn't really acknowledge all the privilege that he has and how he's talked his way out of tickets, like Spencer said. He's like, well, I don't really hurt people. The whole book's about him literally hurting his wife and children. Also with sleeping with other people and not really giving a shit about anyone. And they're like, oh yeah, but it's fine. They love me. And literally no. It's quite interesting, and it's kind of a mindfuck reading it. It also does talk about the difference in empathy and antisocial, sociopathic folks versus autism. And it kind of shows you some of the neurology and how they vastly are different from others. Kind of cool. So I just wanted to talk about those two books that are literally in the Amazon cart within our link tree.
There you go. There are also some other symptoms that somebody could also show before the age of 15, which is aggression towards people and animals, destruction of property, lying and dishonesty, theft, and then serious violation of rules.
Yep.
So I guess, I would probably say look out for those things if you have somebody younger than 15. Especially if they're hurting animals, because we know that is a trait of serial killers. So, I don't know, what's your opinion of what would you do if, you saw that somebody was younger than 15 that had these symptoms? Would that be therapy, or what would you do?
So, sorry, I got a yawn.
Hey everyone, before we get into the show, please check out our collaborator,
Bubs Naturals. They sell a variety of health and wellness products, including collagen peptides, MCT oil powder, coffee, apple cider vinegar gummies, and other amazing products. Go to bubsnaturals.com and use our code DSP20 to get 20% off your entire order. And with that, let's get into the show. Boring you fuck.
Yeah, no, I'm good. It would be some behavior modification type stuff and teaching them to have what we call cognitive empathy. So maybe this individual won't feel it, but we can teach them what good people do, what good humans do, what good men, what good women do. And you slowly teach them on why this would be harmful and why this would hurt them, why this would hurt others that are around them. And it's cognitively because it's not going to feel it from the inside. So you have to put in these parameters, these rules. It's kind of like a little bit of a Dexter vibe. You're putting in these foundational rules on this is what we don't do. We don't hurt any good people. We also don't hurt bad people. We just don't hurt people. So it is a decent amount of coaching. Also, there could be other reasons why they're having some behavior issues. But if we're sticking to this, cognitive empathy is the way to go. That's the way we went with some of the clients that I've worked with. And then eventually I had to triage them to like a more intense professional care because it was outside of my hands. Did a good job. My boss was like, "You're good." Also, it's time for me to take over. I'm the like specialist when it comes to like sexual assault and offenders. And so she, Dr. Roof took over a lot of stuff for me. So it is therapy. It's also multiple things. It's teaching. It's making sure the kid's growing up in a good environment because they're in one that fosters violence. Ooh. They're in one that fosters and validates their emotions of like being toxic, hating people, taking advantage. So, it's hopefully you can put that person in the right place. That might come off as at a young age, maybe a little spectrumy, maybe a little, they call it like oppositional defiant, maybe a little ADHD too, right? It's kind of tough to like tease out if they're hurting others though, because ADHD folks are like autistic folks ain't hurting no one. If they're hurting someone, yeah. The reason why I bring this up is because I used to be a little shit. So, and I did a lot of like kind of violent things in like first, second grade. And I might not have been the most friendly to animals. So,
Yep. Could have been a whole different story for Nazir Zerka.
Could have been. Thank
now
God.
Look at you.
Now look at me. I'm
still killing animals.
Got 3 of them motherfuckers in the fridge.
Now I turn them into my little puppets.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. And so now that we've talked about this, we've kind of set the rules and foundations and boundaries of what that is. I think that'll be helpful for some folks. Hopefully you do not see any of that.
Right.
If you did, it would be making sure that you're getting resources from a therapist, social worker. If there's a victims unit or women's center, legal services that will be provided at some of these like legal centers or women's centers. Even if you're men, there's going to be places to go for like places against violence or to help folks with violence. Protection orders. Like there's certain things that you can do to seek resources, support groups, things like that. I think as we transition back to the scene, we get away from the sociopathy and we just talk about the scene itself. Like, it's just so fun to swear and like say all the words from it.
I know, right? King Kong ain't got shit on me.
Ain't got shit on me. Again, that grandiosity. Ain't got shit on me. And so sometimes when you in that mode or like, Spencer makes a shot in basketball and I just set the pick and the dude falls down, you just kind of look at him like, fuck you.
Yeah. And I just make the shot and walk away. I'm like, oh, that was a good shot. All right, keep on going. Well, you're just like, yeah, motherfucker.
Oh yeah. I tend to be, pretty derogatory. If we're chilling, we're chilling. But if I'm in like a mood, I can get excited.
It is what it is.
It is
sports. What are you gonna do?
It is what it is. But like, in all fairness, man, I was talking to some clients and I said, "Hey, man, so your friends betrayed you?" I said, "Man, you ever seen Training Day?" They said, "No," because they're like 19. How the fuck they know what
Yeah,
Training
of
Day
course
is?
not. Why would you watch any good
Yeah,
films?
I know. Yeah, I'm like,
I've
do you
seen The
watch?
Notebook.
Yeah, well, a couple of them was white girls, and I said, "Have you seen movies with black actors in it?"
What? What?
Who? They didn't even
You
know
ever
who
seen
Denzel.
Friday?
Bro, they didn't
No,
know who Denzel was.
that's actually terrible, honestly. Denzel has done so many films. You gotta know who Denzel Washington is. I don't care what color you are. You gotta know who Denzel Washington is.
Folks don't know.
That's crazy.
Two of
That's
the
fucking
young
crazy.
ones didn't know. And I said, "Man, there's this scene where he just starts cussing out everyone.
Yeah.
And fuck all y'all. I'm putting out hits on every single one of y'all." Uh, it's just ingrained in my mind. Like whenever something happens and I'm like, you know what? I want to cuss up like multiple people out. It's just boom, instantly Training Day.
Yeah. I think it's like getting off topic a little bit.
Go ahead.
ADHD. What are you gonna do?
I don't care.
Monday pop.
Money pop.
I think that it's always interesting to see how like women, for the most part that I've seen and talked to, just they like they never really watched like movies and shows like that much, right? While like that stuff was like all my childhood was watching movies and TV and everything like that. I understand different priorities and
Yep.
parents especially being like, nah, you're not watching that stuff.
Yeah.
But I always find it interesting because there's a lot of great, and it's not even just the surface level things, it's below that. There's so many great things that are in all of these movies that you can really take away from. And that's how I got a lot of my most of my social cues was from different movies and shows.
Yeah.
And so I always find that interesting. And then of course, if I ever try to, have any type of jokes with like, oh yeah, King Kong ain't got no on me, they're just like, what? What are you talking about, King Kong?
Yeah.
The fuck?
Yeah.
So yeah.
It happens. So some of that I guarantee is going to just come down to gender roles and like how we raise folks. So where it's cool for the boys to watch maybe some of these more violent-y things.
Yeah.
And like the women kind of grow up in a society where, okay, you're going to do this, this, and this, which is more like feminine, more softer. And then you're gonna have some women are gonna be like, no, man, I'm gonna do whatever the fuck I want to do. And so that's when they call them tomboys and all this shit. And
Right.
oh, you're too masculine. And it's like, really, people are just watching a movie or a show. But I would agree with you. A lot of students don't watch a lot of these different genders watch different shows.
Well, it's that, and then also it's like I've also seen that a lot of people don't go backwards into movies. They don't go back in time and watch all these different films. They're like, oh, I gotta only watch stuff that's like maybe like 5 years old, if that. And they don't go backwards into all these other films. And I'll be honest, movies were a lot better made back in the day. Like this movie sets place in 24 hours and still you get like this great intense thriller.
Intense.
Yes, very intense. Like you don't know what the fuck's gonna happen.
Bro, I'm gonna like be for real with you when it comes, because I'm seeing a lot of kids that are young all the time. So you're not seeing a lot of 19-year-olds.
Yeah.
Bro, they're not even really watching like TV shows. Doesn't matter what gender now. Like not even really watching, bro. It's literally like TikTok and YouTube. Like straight up. Students just watching YouTube.
That's crazy, man. Well, and I get that because even like Dom, she like watched like Vines and stuff. She does TikTok too, but it's like, all of her references come from like Vines, TikToks, and all that shit. And she's only a couple years younger than me. And it's crazy to me because all of these great films and just TV shows,
bro, it takes too much time, too much concentration. It's not instant gratification. Like it's intense. We grew up in like some of the greatest film eras there were. Right, me being born in 1989. When were you born, Spence?
94.
94. Right, those 80s and 90s, great films, and a lot of us had to go back and watch the older films because our parents made us watch those films. But nowadays, a lot of my folks don't watch no shows, no movies. Man, it's wild. Like, I mean, you're if they watch Netflix, you're lucky.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's true.
The only
Yeah.
thing that it's still standing though is anime. That's still very well and alive in the younger population.
Oh yeah, that will always keep on being alive.
Yeah.
Even if you get to like the cartoony anime like Avatar,
Yep.
stuff like that, that's always going to live on.
Still going.
Yeah, One Piece, all of that stuff. Attack
Yep.
on Titan just ended, and everybody's going crazy about that.
That's
So
what they said. Attack on Titan just said. My boy just talked about it today, and then he said they just started playing this other thing. It was like Clover Brown or something like that on Hulu. Something like that. And so they just, you just keep going. You just keep going and going and going with the anime. And so that started, I think, 2017, and Attack on Titan, I looked at it today, started in 2013.
Yeah, that shit's been going on for a while, and it's not even that many seasons. I think it's like maybe 6.
Yeah, something like that. I think I saw that.
Yeah,
it's intriguing how different the ages are and how old I felt saying, this scene.
yeah.
And God forbid, I start swearing, like students like, you swear.
Oh my god, you swear.
Hey, like Pat McAfee says, people in the real world swear, so I'm gonna swear on this podcast. Shut up. Like, this is how real people talk in the real world. And I'm like, hey man, he's preaching, because everyone be swearing in the real world. So we're gonna do it on a pod.
Yeah, it's true. It's true. We don't hold each other back. Hey, don't say that, man.
Yeah, man. Wonderful scene that lives rent free in my head. I think is very relatable from anytime you feel your back against the wall. Hopefully, when y'all feel your back against the wall like this, you ain't like snapping on people though. But mentally, I don't care what you do. Verbally, make sure you don't do that shit at work. But I know, like when you're at work, I know you want to cuss out all your coworkers. You know what? F you. Oh, I really hate you. Hey, you can fall.
Now you're going a little too far back now. No one's going to know what the reference is that you're saying.
I'm telling you, man. It's just funny on what lives in our heads. And the sad thing is this character, when we were watching it, is like hella real, and there are people like that. And this is one that folks may not agree with, but you see it a lot in politics. Folks are very suave, very wooey, very narcissistic, very. Spence, what's the thing you always say on Instagram? The very front facing on Instagram. A lot of like attention needing and grabbing.
Yeah.
You start to see that with a lot of folks, and a lot of folks think that that's the way to get power, is to get their social clout up.
Yeah, it's very I know. And that's the thing now. We see a lot of narcissists now just going to the internet because now they have a place to be that and gain that popularity, and be just recognized, and not, and if you try to call them out on any of it, they just play the victim. I told you that a lot on social media.
What's the common denominator for a lot of this stuff is playing the victim role. You see it a lot where it's really cool when you see some of these like personal accounts and like people that were like, oh, hold up, man, we know this is fake. Like, you tricking people out of money. Like, you scamming.
There's actually an account I follow, and what he does, he takes like all these like bodybuilder fitness people who, I forgot what his name was, but he takes a lot of people who do like edits on their photos and calls them out on it. And then a lot of the times those people play the victim, and they are just, and even though they know they're doing something wrong and they're scamming people out of money, being like, oh yeah, you can get a butt if you do this
these three things.
and stuff. Yeah.
It's intense, man.
Like that.
People just trying to hustle, but like, it's also like, don't you feel like you hurting people, man? Like,
no.
Or don't you feel like you're overcharging for being like, maybe, I'm gonna say it, being like a coach, like on here, like you charging a lot, man. Like, you charging more than therapists, it's kind of intense. I think also, I know we had a discussion. Really cool account to follow that ADHD Ron did put me on was this guy called Dr. Idz, IDZ. Hilarious. Medical doctor, like going in on people where they're like, let me tell you how peanuts are killing you. Let me tell you how all bottled water is killing you. And he'll just be going in on people, and he's like, time for school. Dr. IDZ, hilarious, Spence.
I'll have to check him out after this.
And he's like, class dismissed. He always ends it with class dismissed. And I'm like, this fucking guy, hilarious. Kind of feels neurodivergent to me, but that's a different story for a different day. But yeah, it's an interesting world.
It is.
Be cautious of some folks being narcissistic, manipulation, tactics, playing the victim role. Be cautious of those things. Take care of yourselves. This is supposed to be more of a psychoeducational pod than more of me like therapizing things. Hopefully we gave y'all some teachings, gave y'all blessings. But again, that's from a TV show, New Girl. Blessings.
You better if I see anybody that doesn't know New Girl, that's just a whole new level of disrespect. Yeah. That's just like only 10 years old, maybe.
Only thing that's still making a cut, I feel like, man, these days is like rest in peace, Matthew Perry. But Friends. Yeah. Friends is still like alive and kicking no matter what.
Friends and then The Office.
The Office, yeah.
Yeah, those two are always alive, and everyone's like, "Oh my god!"
Yep,
I've rewatched it like 800 times. Try some. How about instead of that 801 time, try something different. I know you like what you like. I know. I get it. I'm not telling you what to do, but at the same time, just try a different show.
Can we watch some black people? Can we watch some Mexican?
Watch My Wife and Kids.
Yeah, here we go.
Underrated
for real
in the white community, but
hey, all right, that was the seasoning for this. I think it was just fun to talk about how I use it quite often, and then also just to provide some education. Let's put some seasoning on it. Let's get out.
Seasoning. They like to call that crack. So thank you everybody for joining us today. Had a good talk. It's medicinal, I swear. Go check out all of our great collaborators, and then also please go check out our merch. Give us some money. We love it. We would just want some money. Come on now. You're getting all this entertainment. Why not? Why not give us a little something,
Sure, just so everyone knows, we don't get a ton of money from the merchandise, but it does go back into the fund to actually help us make this shit more professional with the microphones, the music, keyboards, extra monitors, all it helps. It helps it make it sound good.
Yes. Don't you love my voice? Come on now. Everyone says they have a podcast voice. Sensual. All right. Thank you everybody for joining us today. I'm Spencer. That's Nas. This is the Different Spectrums Podcast.
All right, everyone. Much love. And remember, take care of yourselves.
Or don't.
And that's up to you, homies. Peace.
King Kong ain't got nothing on me.
That's right.